big old butt. Live in your own crib and make your own bucks. Hit me up, TradePlus.com and tell me where you from. Smoke out, choke out, we get off the chain like we just broke out. You don't know about me, check out. When I come through, all the hate shit hot. Cause I got more hoes.
Mervyn, please, I'll just let you to do a little bit of an introduction of yourself.
Sure.
And then we'll go into the questions.
Right. That's great.
Okay. So we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2. One. Talofa lava everyone, malole soifua no ia e Māori. Yes, we are still celebrating this week, Rotuman Language Week here in New Zealand. Today we actually have a very, very special guest, a Zoom live session all the way in Fiji. Today we have Broderick Mervyn, who is joining us to talk about his contribution to Fiji as a youth leader for the Commonwealth Youth Council. Talofa lava, Broderick, and welcome to our BluTable Talanoa show. How are you today?
Well, thank you so much. Bulavinaka, Noia Mori, and Talofa lava to everyone listening in to this program. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a really good platform for Pacific youth and community leaders to be part of, and I'm really fortunate coming all the way from Fiji to be part of this Talanoa session on your program. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, no, it's an absolute honor having you. Broderick, please give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself. Where in Fiji, the villages you hail from, and any other information that you want to share with regards to your story.
Sure. So, again, my name is Broderick Mervyn. I'm a youth coordinator for a youth-led initiative called Ignite for Change. I'm the online course coordinator for a Pacific module program called Professionalizing Youth Work in the Pacific. This is run by the Commonwealth of Learning in partnership with Lakehead University, the University of the South Pacific, as well as with us at Ignite for Change. And I'm also an active Pacific youth and community practitioner, just focusing on strengthening youth community engagement as well as projects implementation in the respective communities in Fiji as well as in the Pacific. I'm currently residing in the Western Division of Fiji. And yeah, it's been at this work now for almost a decade. But it's not about the passion or the drive, it's more of the compassion for our Pacific people. So again, being on this platform is just one of the major contributions to my line of work.
Oh, wow. You know what? And congratulations. Wow. That's pretty impressive. And I love that. I love it, the saying, ignite for change for our Pasifika people. So welcome and thank you so much for making the time for our show as well. It's really awesome that you've reached out, and it's awesome that you've been able to share your story here on the BluTable Talanoa. Broderick, can you just give us a little bit of information on what exactly is the Commonwealth Youth Council?
So, this year, the Commonwealth Youth Council will be chaired by a representative from the Pacific. Just for everyone's information, the Commonwealth Youth Council will establish in 2030 at the Commonwealth Heads of Government. So the CYC, in short, of the Commonwealth Youth Council is a youth-led body that is one of the 9 youth-led initiatives created by the Commonwealth. And this is a platform whereby 1.8 billion young people from across not only the Pacific region, but from across the Commonwealth region will actually be part of this process of selecting key leaders. So there's 9 executive leaders in this body. The work of the CYC is to implement youth-led policies, as well as work closely with various stakeholders at grassroots level, national, regional, and also at the Commonwealth level. One of the main things why I threw my hat in the ring in terms of contesting for the Commonwealth Youth Council was that the Commonwealth Youth Council has been led by various respected youth leaders across the region. And I also like to take this time to acknowledge my predecessor from the Caribbean region, who had contributed immensely to this work. So for us, especially from the Pacific, being part of this process of contesting is an opportunity for all of us. So there's 4 of us that are contesting for this position. We have a representative from Tonga, Papua New Guinea, and of course there's myself and another lady that is contesting from Fiji. But what we bring to the table is our learned lessons from our various engagements at the grassroots level in our respective countries, but also just bringing a Pacific value and a Pacific voice in this Commonwealth. And I think we're one of those regions that's often been left out of the conversation. And, it's not surprising that this is happening. But however, in terms of curbing that issue, this is a platform whereby, as a Pacific chairperson for this Commonwealth Youth Council, it gives us that opportunity to raise our voices that affect Pacifica youths and communities, but at the same time, share our exchange views and ideas and how we handle issues on a national, regional, and grassroots level, especially in Pacific contexts.
How important is it for you to represent for the Commonwealth Youth Council?
For us in the Pacific region, it adds a very strong value to this Commonwealth Youth Council. And I think everyone in the Pacific would know our strong links with the royal family, as well as to the Commonwealth, and what we have shared in past years. I mean, this is an important milestone achievement for the role of chairperson. The role of chairperson also sets the tone for all Commonwealth young people for the next 2 to 3 years in office. And for us in the Pacific, what we see that is in need of addressing is the gaps that we have amongst many Pacific youths as well as Commonwealth youths, how we approach certain issues. And of course, there's sort of mechanisms that are already in place. Our job is to respect those mechanisms, but at the same time, build those mechanisms to be youth-led and also youth-centric, and build it from strength to strength. As one of the candidates contesting for the role of chairperson, I think it's very important because we in the Pacific have our own stories to share, and also ways in which how we engage with grassroots communities as well as governments of the day. And we bring that Pacific spirit of unity, tolerance, as well as be playing an important role in terms of being harmonious. And those are some of the things that I'd like to bring to the role of chairperson if elected.
It is an interesting topic that we have been discussing today. Do you have more details with regards to the selecting process?
So many people have often asked us as candidates, well, we've seen the work that you've done. How can we go about voting for you? So just for everyone's information, the voting of the Commonwealth Youth Council executives will take place at the end of the month. People can be part of the conversation by sharing our messages on our social media platforms. So we have various Facebook platforms, Twitter, Instagram, that we've often shared with the general public. However, the election of the executives of the Commonwealth Youth Council is determined by 2 representatives per Commonwealth country. These 2 representatives are elected by the respected Ministry of Youth in all the Commonwealth countries. And there's 54 countries altogether, so we have about 108 national youth delegates from across the region that will be doing a very much stern decision-making process of choosing the right and steadfast leadership that is needed in the Commonwealth Youth Council. Just for the purposes of everyone, there's also a regional representative role for the Pacific. So we have a representative from Fiji, Sagut, as well as a representative from Australia, Lachlan, that's actually contesting for the role of Pacific Youth Representative for the Commonwealth Youth Council. They just finished their debates yesterday. We also have a live debate streaming. It's on our Facebook page. You can check that out on the Commonwealth Castings, and it's also an opportunity for you in the general public to actually write what are the key issues that are affecting young people, especially in our region of Pacific, because I think right now what we're seeing is that a lot of Pacific youths are facing various issues, especially during this period of COVID-19. And so I would encourage everyone out there to just, take up the challenge, just go on our social media platforms, share the messages by our respective candidates. Also tune in and just ask your questions. I think it's also important because the Commonwealth needs to have an understanding of what Pacifica youths can contribute to this role of chairperson. And as I've mentioned earlier, we have that Pacific style of leadership that's often proven successful in terms of how we do things on a day-to-day basis. And that's some of the things that I'd like to bring when elected into the role of chairperson.
Look, I love the passion that you bring, and also you're very, the way, the vibe, the way that you really want to make a change here. You've mentioned that there are a few issues that our youth, our Pacific youth, are currently facing, especially during the COVID as well. Is there one in particular that you can highlight that you could relate to directly?
Sure. I think one of the issues that many Pacifica youths are facing, and I think it's very common, is, with this COVID-19 that has come about in our region, there has been a massive amount of young people that have been left out and thus resulting into youth unemployment. And again, this is one of the main issues that many Pacific youths are trying to sort of come into terms with. For us in the Commonwealth Youth Council, we see that we work with various institutions, whether it be at a regional level like the Pacific Community, it'll be with national level with our respective governments, or with various international agencies like United Nations, for that matter. At the end of the day, what the Commonwealth Youth Council is trying to address in returns to youth unemployment is to provide avenues and opportunities, one, to strengthen capacity building. I think what we've seen now is that a lot of young people have been too dependent on their work. But at the same time, it's sort of like a refresher course for many Pacific youth to say, what are some of the skills that I can harness, during this COVID-19 period? What I take off my head, again, proving my point of showing that resilience in Pacific youth, is that a lot of Pacific youth have gotten to go online and sort of do small and medium businesses and also showcase their products. And, that's something that we've never seen before, and that's something that I'm hoping to address when given the role of chairperson, because I think for the Pacific youth, and especially at a Commonwealth level, it's very important that we recognize that young people play an important role in our society. And they make up a majority of the world's population. I think it's high time now that we need to recognize the value that Pacific youth and Commonwealth youth bring to the table, as well as their shared views and ideas, and also certain things, budget allocations for young people coming up with business projects, or let alone capacity building trainings. I know we can't do face-to-face engagement, but platforms, doing it on platforms such as on Zoom or WhatsApp for that matter. Also, just harnessing untapped skills that we are yet to see. And, small and medium businesses are, I'm for it. And, just seeing how Pacific youth becoming entrepreneurs and, also on the global level. And I think those are just some of the issues that are often a challenge to us during this COVID-19 period, and some of the ways we can see and tap into those opportunities.
Oh, I really, really admire. I really admire your passion, and I really admire that you are really going full force with this. If elected, what is something that that's important to you, that you really want to implement the changes as quickly as possible?
One of the things that we've seen in all our societies is that, despite this COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of young people need to recognize first all the regions. There needs to be a form of recognition and respect. And, there's so many things on our manifestos, whether it be intergenerational dialogues between young and old, improving leadership skills amongst our young people during this COVID-19, also youth entrepreneurship. But one thing that really touches my heart is strengthening the level of literacy through technology in education, and also bridging that gap as well by inclusion of grassroots communities, in particular young people with disabilities. And I think that's something that we really often don't address. And everyone plays an important role in our society, but often at times in our day-to-day lives, we still have this notion that, society's issues, are addressed at all grants. But unfortunately, during our line of work, we often leave certain groups out of the equation. And I think, by including young people with disabilities, not only in Pacifica level, but also at regional level and Commonwealth level, but in our programs. So one of the programs, like I mentioned during my introductions, I'm an online course facilitator for the professionalizing youth work in the Pacific. Now, this is a module comprised of 6 units, all youth-led. They tell youth stories, and they come from us here in the Pacific. And I encourage young people that are listening, or those that are tuning in, if you're interested in doing youth or community work, these modules are for free and they're provided for this purpose, to strengthen the work of young people and also bring about positive change in society once the courses are done. And those are one of the things that I really would like to get done when elected into office. There's so much we can do, but we only have 3 years in just getting all of our work cut out for us.
Oh, look, I love it. And then I love that you want to make, positive changes for our youth and, for everyone, for the Pacifica, community, not just there in Fiji, but worldwide. Look, Broderick, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show here on BluTable Talanoa. But just one last question before we go. Oh, sorry, I've got two. You did reach out to our platform. How did you find us on Facebook?
Well, I saw the major coverage that's been done with our Rutumans. And
Yes.
as we all know, this is Rutuman Language Week. So I thought,
Yeah.
this is an amazing platform to just enable Pacific youth and community leaders to get themselves involved in this. And, I commend you guys for doing that, because we need these platforms now more than ever. So when I saw that a few of our Rotuman community leaders were on the platform, I said, being that it's Rotuman Language Week, why don't I just hop on and just share a few words and how, what are the situations that we're facing or in the line of work that we do, but also just to commemorate Rotuman Language Week.
What do you have? I know that you're part Ratuman. What do you have to say for Ratuman Week as we celebrate here in New Zealand? Do you have anything to contribute to Ratuman Language Week?
First of all, can I, and I've seen the amazing work that's been done by Rotumans in New Zealand. Can I first say a big foyex for the work that they've done in terms of strengthening our language, and it's so important. And when my heart just was so over the moon when seeing Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and of course the opposition leader wearing our garlands, our tifui, which symbolizes our Rotuman culture and heritage, and it's something that's really important. For me personally, one of the major contributions that I've done for my Rotuma community, last year we had launched a project in Rotuma. And I'd like to take this time to thank also one of our partners, the Pacific community, that actually helped us to launch this project. So we launched a project in Rotuma called the Active Youth Participation in Community Development. So we engage with all Rotuman youths in all the 7 districts in Rotuma. We also engage with the women, stakeholders on the island, as well as to the elders. It's just a program whereby we bridge the gap between young and old, intergenerational. That's something, like I've mentioned earlier, one of the traits of Pacific people. And also, just understanding what are the areas that needs to be addressed, and how can we further strengthen young people as well as women in the island of Rotuma. And that's, this project is just one of the major platforms and milestone achievements towards my contribution to the Rotuman community. And I have to say, there's so much more work that needs to be done. And, I take this time to commend, again, the work that's been done by our Rotumans in New Zealand. And again, a big foyex for all the work that they've done.
Oh, yes, the Ministry of Pacific People have had a massive contribution with regards to our Language Week here in New Zealand, and Rotuman Week kicking it off this year. And it's been an absolute honor learning a few phrases in the Rotuman language this year. So it has been an interesting time here in New Zealand as we still push through so we can acknowledge our Rotuman people, brothers and sisters as we celebrate their Language Week. Look, Broderick, again, it's been an absolute honor having you here on BluTable Talanoa. Before we wrap up, is there one encouraging message that you have for our future youth leaders that you want to share that's helped you get through some challenging times?
One of the things that we often ask in our line of work is, how do you do it, and how do you get up every morning to do this work? Again, it's for young people that are listening out there. If you have a passion for a certain thing, go on with it. There's certain hurdles along the way that will stop you from achieving your goals. But, as a leader, you've got to come out of that, brush yourself off and keep on doing what you got to do. And I think that's a strong message that we can send to society. The Pacific people have proven that. You know, let's show that same skill mindset as well as that same trait at that Commonwealth level. So, just keep doing what you have to do to ensure that your goals and your ambitions are achieved.
Broderick, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here on BluTable Talanoa. Our team here in New Zealand wish you all the very best as you go, as you become one of the contestants for the Commonwealth Youth Council. So wish you all the best and God bless.
Thank you so much.
There we have it. We had the awesome Broderick joining us via Zoom. And he's in Fiji. I would like to say thank you once again. He's reached out a waile for the Commonwealth Youth. So congratulations once again for being selected, and now you're going to wait to be elected. So you've been selected to represent, and now you're waiting to be elected. Yes, welcome back. We are here at the Pacific Business Hub, where you can find your vision, your light, honest, helpful people surrounding us all. If head over to the Pacific Business Hub and speak to Laura. We've got the lawyers, we've got Pacific 40, you name it, all of the above. You can find us here at the Pacific Business Hub. You're wondering, like, wow, it's Friday, what is this? And I kind of feel a little bit like an infomercial ad today. And check out the awesome products that we have in front of us today. And yes, we have the beautiful Sala, who is the owner and founder of the two businesses that are here in front of us. Shortly, we will go back and bring in our special guest. Also, we have Asiata here as well. I'm sure everyone's like, yay, we were wanting to hear an update with regards to the sports. And I'm pretty sure you're like, is ET in the building? Wow. Let me tell you something. He's not in the building, but he'll be joining us later. That's what ET always does that. But hang on, wait. But anyways, it's Friday. It's been amazing. And if you don't already know, we are still celebrating Rotuman Language Weekend. We're closing off tomorrow. It's been an exciting week. We don't have all of the flashy things that I normally have around because, that's a long story short, but it's been an amazing day here at the Hub. We will go into a music break shortly, but before we go into the music break, if you've got any questions with regards to the products that we've got in front, send them through. If you're curious about what this product is about, still send them through. I think, do we have a prize for the one that guesses what these products are? Or this is the one that I'm probably looking forward to the most, is to get some eyelashes put on. Yeah. But we have the owner, the major sponsor for TTA in the building today. So we're going to go to a music break. Stay tuned just if you want to find out what these products are all about. welcome back. Yes, we have added a new segment, infomercial time with Bear. Kidding. We have today a very, very special guest, man, and she is stunning, isn't she? The boss owner and also the major sponsor for TTA, Asiata. Talofa lava
Hi,
and
hi,
welcome.
hi. Noa ia e Māori
Yes.
as well. La talofa, kia ora, tēnā koutou. Malo se fo mi sa mo. Yeah, lena to e fo i meltanto vasalonga. We're here with by the way, yeah, I'm good. Sorry,
Yes, how are
somebody
you?
is just straight into business.
Straight into business.
But yeah, no, pretty awesome. Pretty good day.
Yeah.
Missing the studio. Well,
I know, you've been
just-
so busy.
And you know what? Can't wait for my first episode of the TTA tomorrow. That's the reason
know.
why. It's going to be on high definitions, quality cameras. That you've never seen before.
Yeah, I've seen the previews and wow.
Oh, you see?
Awesome, yes.
Wow.
I was like, oh, what's going on here? where was my invite to the golf tournament that you went to?
Well, by the way, yeah, I'm happy to have my sponsors, bosses, the bosses of bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
right here
owner.
with us, the owner of course, Earthside Mama as well as Novalash. Hail from the beautiful village of Falelatai.
Man, where are all these falalatai
And-
talent coming from? Man, I
Now
love it.
taken by a Tamasi Tonga. Now we're here with Starled and Nai Aholelei. Obviously, she herself, the boss of the Earthside Mama, which is beautiful Bear, and her will have more discussions about it, as well as Novalash. But as for me, I'm so grateful to have you
Thank
here
you
on
very
this
much.
BluTable Talanoa, as well as believing in my show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I love it. Man, welcome, Starlet.
Thank you.
The founder and owner of Earthside and Nova Lash New Zealand. Please give us a bit of an intro because, now we know that you're a beautiful Samoan taken by the Tongan. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Starlet. I am 22 years old. Yes, I'm married to a Tongan.
Shout out to all of our Tongan
Yeah,
viewers,
Malo
by the way.
lelei, malo lelei, whakalawhala i atu. Is that right, eh? Malo lelei.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tamasi Tonga.
Yeah, I'm very, very blessed to be here today, so thank you for having me. But yeah, as you can see, you have my two businesses here, so I'm looking forward to sharing more about that.
Yeah. And you are a mum of
One,
how old is baby?
she is 2, turning 3 this year.
Oh, man. The cute stages.
Yeah.
There's the cute stages. Look, we've been looking at the product and it is very interesting. It's kind of something that you only see on Instagram. Is a product
Yes.
like this, and I mentioned earlier ngā o Benaweta Willis. When you have the surname Willis, this is the only type of product that you'll purchase, but it's actually a really, really good business because not only are you helping our women, you've highlighted that there is a gap in the industry for our women and we struggle. I know myself, I have a young one recently, so I didn't even know that this product existed. Tell us a little bit more about your little business for Earthside.
Yes, so Earthside is a business that's catered entirely to a mother's physical healing after childbirth. So my products pretty much help that postpartum stage, which is just another term for the first sort of 6 weeks after you give birth. And my products just help that physical healing journey and make it a little bit more comfortable.
And, we discussed earlier, off camera, that it's not really something that our Pasifika community really tend to talk about, but
yes.
it is, the generations have changed, and now we do need help, we do need products, and it's so awesome that a Pasifika woman like yourself has been brave enough to come through and create something that we can all use that can help that healing process, because it is difficult and it is a difficult subject to kind of cater as a Pasifika woman. So I'm so proud of you, and that's
Thank
so
you very
awesome
much.
that you're able to help us in that sense. What actually inspired you to get into this side of the business?
So I pretty much became inspired to begin this business due to my own postpartum journey. So as many of us women know, it's a bit of a private journey and a sacred journey, but it can be very physically demanding after you give birth. So my postpartum journey was quite difficult for me, and it was a difficult journey, and I found myself looking for a lot of products online that weren't based in New Zealand. They were always overseas and had ridiculous shipping costs, so I wasn't going to do that, and I just decided to make my own thing and start planning, and I've finally launched this year after 2.5 years of planning. So we finally got there.
Wow.
2.5 years in planning.
Yes.
How was the planning process for you? Like, two
Well, it was-
years?
Yeah, well, it was good. I had my Novalash business up and running just to help me out, but definitely just staying focused on my end goal, which was finally launching Earthside. Yeah, kept me going.
So when you struggled, how has this product gone after launching it?
But it's gone quite popular. A lot of women actually don't know that these exist, like you said before. So it's really good to inform our women that there are products out there that can help them, as you know, childbirth is such a common thing.
And you've mentioned that it is the healing process, and it is difficult because even myself, it's so hard to reach out for help. So we're gonna play the ad
Okay.
right up now. We'll play the ad now.
Yeah, absolutely. Asia tani man ka choko kalam no li chalan oi chalong ngam.
Oh, sorry. that was that. I'm just like thinking, waiting for the ad. You know what? I miss Producer Lemo, actually. I'm going to say it. Producer Lemo, no more annual leave for Oeweilo. Sorry. I'm just sitting there waiting for Producer Lemo to cut off thumbs up. But never mind. Tomorrow, you
I
are
actually
no
thought
longer...
we went through a minute of silence just for the
for the Palokan Samoa.
yes, absolutely. So, but no, it's always good to have this little fun moments in
love
terms
it.
of live television. So apologies for that.
No. Look, you know, you've obviously found a solution to help our women, and for our Pasifika women, you know, Starlet's helped us find a solution, because sometimes we're just a little bit afraid to kind of tap into that online forum. But now you won't have to worry about a thing. The product is now available in New Zealand to help you through that healing journey. Sorry, this is all online. Am I correct?
Yeah, so it's all online. My website is www.earthside.shop.
Did you do a lot of research after to kind of like, you know, what kind of research? Because I believe that you do like an online questionnaire.
Yeah, so my end goal is to have products on my shop that caters to all styles of birth. So we know that we have our natural labour, but we also have mothers that have had cesareans and stuff. So I really want to bring out a range of products that can help those mothers too. And so I've been doing some questionnaires and just to see how it can help those women, and I've gotten good reviews.
Good reviews. That's
Can I just, because just by looking at this product right in front of me, no, this is the major sponsor for my TTA Sports, but I'm just looking at this. Can you just explain what's the use of this, please?
Yeah, sure. So,
And then some of those products, please.
of course. So this is called a Cool Gel Memory Foam Donut Cushion. So much shaped like a donut, you can see here. The ring in the middle is designed to alleviate pressure off your lower extremities. So when you sit on it after giving birth, obviously it can be sort of painful and uncomfortable after you give birth. So this just helps you out by keeping you comfortable and keeping the pressure off down there.
All right, just for the sake of the non-Samoan speaking, but I know it will goes for all of yous female as well. And mo ila tau we have to mai on for ile tole o lo taua be whanawina ia se alo fo ima ia ele ono masina mo moa a o iai I tūlanga fo I popo fo to mai on whanau ma tūlanga whapena. O le tamala le mfonu so swani whamamaina le ti ngā fo ia mai se no e te sau wha iai lunga o tu sa o lava mfona e sau wha iai po alava tūlanga whapena e tāua ia o le tama wha tau le momi lea ia sau wha iai lunga pe se ei fo I lunga ia le tina o ai ma to mai ai mai tanga o ki wha ki ngā ulu ia.
I love how he did that, you know, advising the fathers that this will probably help them as well in that healing process to kind of like, you know, because it is the hormonal time, you know, you're like, oh, you know, it's painful and you're like, so dads, you know, that she's here to help solve those problems for you. Talk us through a little bit, you know, with this item here.
Of course. So this is called a peri bottle. It's short for perennial irrigation bottle.
Do I need to block my ears?
No,
Okay.
that's okay.
No, that's good.
So this bottle pretty much helps you cleanse during toilet trips and can also help you cleanse during your bathing time if you do not have a detachable shower head. Us mothers, we know that it can be uncomfortable after birth, so especially using toilet paper and all that stuff, a bit too much information, but it really does happen to all of us mothers. So we also have a natural acidity in our urine, so it can be quite a little bit uncomfortable using the restroom. So my product just helps, you fill it with water, put it upside down and just squeeze and cleanse yourself. Yeah, very handy.
It is. I know that our mothers will know and will have experienced that journey where it's been a little bit rough to kind of like, you know.
I'm just glad that I'm not a woman.
Oh my goodness.
Just to listen to all this process. But hey, daddies, buy this. All right?
Daddies,
That's the
buy
best thing you can do. All right.
Daddies.
It's a late Mother's Day presents.
A late Mother's Day present. Yes. Sorry, Stella, the challenges. What have been the challenges, you know, with, you know, before the launch and after the launch with your business, running your own business?
Yes, so I pretty much did this all on my own and just even I wasn't really educated in how to bring it over from overseas and customize everything that I wanted. So that was a bit of a journey in itself, learning how to do that. And then also the process of actually coming over to New Zealand. I was driving a big truck, picking it up and taking it to my sewage.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a journey, and even since launching, you know, when you're a business owner, it looks like it's all fancy from the outside, but there are really tough days, and it's taught me a lot of perseverance and patience.
And how's hubby with the whole support system? He obviously would have been like a massive drive behind helping you with the business.
Yes, he's very supportive. He's always been supportive of my dreams, my crazy dreams.
Yeah. But we have to have, and family, of course, it does take a village to raise a child. But again, it takes a village to help support small businesses. How has it been with family coming through for you?
It's been very good. I think thanks to my family, I actually had the courage to begin a business. So yes, thank you, Nana.
Thank you, Nana.
Yes,
Hi, Nana.
absolutely. So tell us, how can the beautiful mums out there purchase or buy this?
Yep, so you
Please.
can visit my website at www.earthside.shop or my Instagram at earthsideofficial, and that's the same for Facebook as well.
Wow. Now that
Are we
brings,
moving over to the lashes?
that brings us to what do you call this? Laumata? Eyelashes and some more. Well, I love to put it on, but I wouldn't just yet because I need to understand if I have to use a super glue or some sort of thing. Yeah. Tell us more about this.
I think for you, we can use the glue gun. We just need to heat it up for 5 minutes. Tell us a little bit more about this, your lash business.
Yeah, so I started my lash business when I was planning for Earthside, just due to the affordability of actually running a lash business. It was more ideal for me to run it at the time, but these lashes are strip lashes. They're called strip lashes, and you apply them when you do your makeup. So they don't stay on you for more than 24 hours. You're meant to take them off. So it's just like an event type of lash. That you put on. So,
An event type lash. Well, I'm excited to see Asiata rocking the lashes during his TTA segment. I think it'll be, what is it, like a bee or soccer? I think you'll suit them in soccer.
Nah, swimming.
Swimming.
I'll definitely do it for swimming.
No, you know what? I think Asiata's got a little bit more to talk about his major sponsor, and that's awesome. You know, the question is, why are you sponsoring his show, but it's female products? Just saying.
Can we have this fan on, please? I'm just feeling hot now. But thanks, Bear, for that wonderful presentations with Starlet as well. Also, glad to have you here.
Thank you
know,
for
as
having
the
me.
major sponsor of my TTA, which is a first episode airing tomorrow morning at 9 to 10, right after the ET Live. You know, as I went through trying to search through my English back when I used to go to school, the meaning of starlet, it's sort of like a young actress with an ambitions to become a star. If I can translate it in my... Did I get that right?
I love
Well, it's better than Starlet, the Toyota cars.
Well, you know, obviously this is the living proof of her become a star.
Oh,
You
thank
know.
you very much.
From young age, obviously, have the ambitions and the aspirations to become somebody, you know.
Thank you.
And now you are a somebody indeed. And thank you for
Yeah.
sponsoring my. Did that extend some months for my sponsor? Anyways, don't forget, right after our BluTable Talanoa, we do have ET with a something special. Well, just a little bit about the, again, elections in Samoa. Good news for whoever are the supporters of the FAST campaign. That today was the ending of all these cases and the court casing that was dragging from the last couple of weeks. So, therefore, o lea songa fua, ele July tolu, ele auli, leo lea tolo la waile unga. Nona winga, wa mae a fola sanga ai tu lua, o le case o le a lau ile tolu, ele auli o lea songa fua. O le fotuanga tu natu foi, lela e mawala uli linga tele lava. Ia ele te maloa o tui e li tau al pini. Ai kele foi mangai rea, there's just so much
I feel like
things
it's
going on.
Yeah, I feel like it's, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And I just kind of like, are we there yet? Tui, are we there yet? So wow, we are finally there.
But hey, don't
The
forget,
countdown.
don't forget the TTA Talanoa Talonga Ma'asianta tomorrow. You know, actually, we went and filmed this at the golf. How do you call it? Golf club?
The golf,
Yeah.
golf course.
Course.
Yeah.
Yeah, golf course.
And you know what? I have never knew how interesting this sport was before when I went and had the filming
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And do you know? I think from now on, I'm going to turn into golf from now on.
No.
You know.
We'll leave the golf to the pros. Are we going to play a little preview of
Okay.
or an ad?
Just watch this. Watch this, but it'll be more tomorrow. All right. Just like, love, and share this for tomorrow. asiata nei mal tātou proklame o le talanoa I tālonga ma asiata. Pei ona whaalawinoa le vai aso le tenei. O le tātou asia le malai tā polo. Tu ina sa watu e tātou whaasalalau nei I le Water Downs Golf Course e Manarewa. Tasi foi o malai wai longa lona tia e. Ia wa foi le tālonga mai se o tele ni sampini o whana nau ma soifua ma le dei malai. O le ale asia I tātou tulanga o sampini. Ai se tātou o e pa ili. Me whaafewhea na whaile a tālonga o le tāpolo. Iwe. Ia wau te roli tele lava o teimi e vatu e rau TV ma whaapasi lava le tele o le tālonga. A ofisili wa tūla I mai. E whaafewhea o na whaile a tālonga tāpolo. E whaafewhea foi o na tau ai o le tālonga. O atu la fono e te tau ona e si la fia. O e lea e sauni e fia sau e taano I tālonga. O awa e ngā tāua e mua na e si la fia ini. Ma le isi la mea. E kaunga I sau ako whapea. Arwhesiri. E fia tu ai ngā pate whao ngā ina I le tālonga. Ioi. Pe ngā oro sau fu ile ke whai wa ai mai whai ka vale I. Le ai e leo ki ku ngā ka vale. Ai la e maua la toanga le tātou programa.
Wow.
See? Did you see that?
Professional.
Did you see that?
Wow.
You
Man.
know, now Talanoa Ta'alonga is right there where.
I was waiting for Tiger Woods to come through, man. I love it. And wow, check out the quality. And you actually, Asiata, you really do suit it.
Wow, thank you.
You really do suit
Sorry,
it.
Bear, I really wish to offer you something.
You really do. Your beautiful, stunning wife must have really went all out for your outfits.
You're mocking my tummy. Yeah. But anyways, don't forget tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the morning. You know, special thanks to Starlit and obviously the boss, founder of Earthside, Mama, as well as Novalash, for bringing to you this special editions of our Talanoa I Ta'alonga Masiata. Yes, it's me, TTA. Please don't forget like the new page on Facebook, TTA.
Yeah.
It's not a spam, obviously. Yeah, it's TTA.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
don't forget ET tomorrow at 6. Oh, tonight. Sorry.
Tonight.
The special edition tonight at 6.
Yeah.
And which is the original, as normal tomorrow. But don't miss out on his 6 p.m. special editions tonight of what's going on in
Samoa. Look, before we go, I do have one more question for the beautiful business owner right here. Look, we know that, there's always struggles, there's always highlights, and congratulations once again for opening up your business.
Thank you.
One final question for our viewers before we go. Is there any last encouraging words that you can share with our viewers that's helped you through as a business owner?
Yeah, well, I do think that anything is possible. No matter what your life situation is, you can always do something. You can always achieve your dreams. Anything is possible. So I'll just leave you all with that.
Once again, absolute honor having yourself, of course, the commentator over here, Asiata, and our special guest who we went live on Zoom this afternoon from Fiji, Broderick. Thank you so much for making the time for us, both yourself and Starlet. A massive thank you to my hero, Matananai, who has been amazing today. Thank you so much. Also to the Blue team. If you see the Blue Wave team out and about, give us a wave.
Please don't throw us. Please don't throw rocks at us.
But also another massive thank you to the Pacific Business Hub. Without Laura and the surrounding businesses, none of this is possible. Check it out. Please head over to the Pacific Business Hub. Check out the businesses that we're surrounded by, and also a special mention to the beautiful Mao at Say Oriana.
Yes.
Thank you,
Also-
thank you.
Also, would you like to shout out to some, this very, very
Yes.
last give you
you wanna make a
I'm pretty
shout
sure your
out?
husband is waiting
Oh,
for you to
okay.
mention his name right there.
Shout out to my husband Nico and my daughter Israel watching from home. Thank you.
Also to our dear Pastor Whawhenga Sunga, Pastor Waita Fata, as well as First Lady Meruli. And also to Joey Sunga Cho Nai, as well as Auntie Sulu Nai. Also to Professor.
Yeah, yes.
Lupe Matsila, Melan, no, absolutely.
No, it's been an awesome, busy day. Also, shout out to Kaseki who were here earlier on. Check out our Facebook page, man. They're going to be.
Oh, and my special shout out, last not the least, is to the newly wedded couple for tomorrow. So we're actually having a wedding tomorrow. So big shout out to Mua and Vai. Ooh, you're getting married tomorrow. We'll see you there. I can't wait to have the pua.
Yeah, don't forget to tune in RET.
Absolutely.
Wow. 6 p.m. tonight.
Tonight.
And don't forget Asiasa's show tomorrow.
At 9 in the morning.
That's us. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend. Take it easy and tune in on Monday.